right, so here we are to teach Charlie how to do a structured walk. In a structured walk, we don't want to have any tension on the leash at any point, except for when we're correcting him for pulling forward. And with a structured walk, we don't want him to stop and sniff or do things like that. Always give him an opportunity to go to the bathroom before we leave, and then you can give him an opportunity to go to the bathroom about halfway through. If you're going for a longer walk, you can go ahead and say about 2/3 of the walk you want it to be structured, so he's learning to walk on a loose leash, and then maybe the last third you give him the space to kind of smell around and engage in smelling on the way home. That's up to you. If you want to do a structured walk the whole way, that's also fine. I just want to give you the freedom to kind of change that up over time. So what we want to have here is that the leash goes around his belly and up through that second part on the martingale collar. So we're using the martingale collar to accomplish keeping him in a loose leash position. Prior, the Guardians had been using a flexi lead, so he had too much space to move around, and he oftentimes walked in front of them, which whoever walks in front on a walk is in the leadership position. And he was being reactive to dogs when on the leash only. If he's at the dog park, he wasn't reacting. So we wanted to start to take more control in this situation, so he didn't feel like it was his job to investigate all of the dogs on the neighborhood. So what we're going to do is, as we're walking, we pull up and release as fast. We release as fast as we moved our arm up if he pulls forward. If he starts to go behind us, we just take our hand and hold it right here by the seam of our pants and just keep walking forward. We're not going to look at him and start coaxing him and calling him. We're just going to walk forward. I did again check with the Guardians and make sure that we are not walking at too fast of a pace for his cast, and they assured me that he's fine. So what I'm going to do is have you follow me while I'm walking him, and this will be how we take him for a structured walk. Okay, so I corrected him. I'll ask the non-cameraman Guardian, do you mind walking a little bit ahead of us?
Sure.
He's more resistant because he doesn't want to walk with me as much. Okay, now we'll go for a walk. Correct him for walking too far forward, and you can see how quickly he responded to that. The leash is nice and loose. I'm going to correct him before he hits the end of the leash. Okay, do you see how I did that? And then I'm only turning my head. I'm not trying to look at him. I'm just trying to make sure my voice is projecting to the camera. But you can see how we're already getting to a point where the leash is loose and nice and slack, and that's what we want to be looking for. All right, now I'm going to ask him to stop. All right, and I just gave him a quick correction. Another thing that this does when taking him on a walk like this is that he has to start paying attention to you and looking for direction, because he has to be walking right next to you. He has to be paying attention to how fast you're moving and where you're going, instead of feeling like he's just kind of leading you where he wants to go. So this is how we're going to accomplish loose leash walking and gaining some control while out for walks. All right.